see my nursing bra.
Over-prepared. Harper started crying. We're good. Okay.
We're recording?
Yeah.
Oh.
Only 20 seconds in.
Okay.
You said nursing bra in the 20 seconds, but...
Oh, wonderful. Okay. Hopefully I don't start leaking.
Okay. Did CORY freak out during Harper's birth and felt the need to hide his fear at any point?
I didn't freak out at her birth, but the most nervous I felt was when they were taking her in, like taking...
When you said your legs were about to buckle?
When they were taking JaLisa in and like getting her prepped and everything, I had to wait out in the hallway for like 5 minutes. And that was probably the most nervous I was the entire time. Like I was real live shaking. And then right before they showed us Harper, I was like...
Somebody in the comments said that you started getting a little wobbly with the camera after they said my water broke.
They're sharing notes right now, talking about everything that's going on with the contraptions.
And your voice started cracking.
Well, at least I don't think
And you said contraptions.
Mm-hmm.
I did, but I also said contractions.
Well, no, I'm saying, but that means
that
couldn't mean you were nervous because you were like, no?
I don't think so. I mean,
when you
behind camera.
Yeah, when you called me.
Behind camera, I was saying, well, off camera, I was mixing up those words a lot, actually.
Yes.
No, baby, but
I understand what they're saying.
You were nervous?
I don't feel like I was as nervous because I was just like, I just felt like Shayma was more excited because I was like telling her and she was like, I'm on my way.
Well, because I said his T there.
Oh yeah, because she was like, I mean, because was T here yet?
You said she's on her way. Yeah, and I was like, I'm not coming over there.
Because Tracy was here. And I was like, well, Tracy's here. And T said she's on her way. But I don't feel like whatever happened in the video, I don't feel like I was as nervous. But when they took her in and started prepping her, definitely nervous for sure. And then right before they showed us Harper, our beautiful baby.
I didn't know you were nervous then.
Yeah, because it was like, okay, here we go. We get to meet her, see what she really
Kick
looks
off.
like. Yeah.
Who do you guys think Harper resembles the most? And do a comparison of baby pictures. Obviously, we'll put baby pictures up, but based on their current reactions.
Say she's a spitting image, don't you think? That's all right. You'll get the boy. Which is next?
You're lucky my eyes hurt from rolling them that hard.
So
we know who she looks like. Whoever asked that probably was trying to be smart because I know I'm in my feelings about her not looking like me.
And we also see where Harper will get her attitude from.
No. Who has more attitude?
You read the shirt she has? She has a shirt that says, I get my attitude from all the women in my family. So, I mean, and I didn't buy it, so.
Look at her looking at us.
Hey, mamas.
What was the C-section experience like? Did it hurt? How's recovery going?
I feel like for me, and this is for me, so anything I'm saying is just my personal experience, guys. It didn't hurt. I think I was more nervous going to the hospital because of the Black maternal health care situation going on. I wasn't nervous about the pain. I wasn't nervous about the epidural. I was more nervous about how I would be treated in a hospital. So nothing else really crossed my mind as far as like me freaking out. I was calm this entire process until we had to drive there, and I was freaking out like, I wonder what type of treatment I'm about to get in this hospital. But when we got there, it was amazing. I was put at ease. And I wasn't nervous for the surgery at all. So it was fine. I mean, other than like a little pressure, because I did get an epidural, so you don't feel anything. And even afterwards, I expected to be in so much more pain than I was. It was more just like sore. And of course, they give you the meds in the hospital. So those first 2 days, I had like the heavy, strong meds. But even when I left, they were like, well, do you want these meds to go home? And I was like, no, I have some ibuprofen that I use for cramps at home. And I just took that and I was totally fine. I was moving around a lot. I thought I would be like literally like glued to a bed, can't walk, can't do anything. And I was able to move around. It's just the smarter thing to do is to relax and lay down. but I could do stuff. So it wasn't half as bad as I had like heard or, you know, thought it was going to be. And then recovery afterwards was fine for me. I mean, I laid a lot, and I still like, you know, did stuff from the bed, from the couch, and probably here and there. The only time I would feel any type of pain is if I was doing too much. So like I had, you know, standing in the kitchen for too long or snuck upstairs or something like that. And then I would feel my incision hurting. But other than that, I didn't feel anything. It was just kind of just sore, and you just felt like it was best to stay seated.
There was a question about your incision and like how it currently feels.
Okay,
So
I'll just answer that.
Yeah, we're at 5 weeks now.
Okay, so 5 weeks, 3 days. 2 days, 5 weeks, 2 days. My incision feels fine. If you guys do not follow me on Instagram, I wrote a post of how I'm feeling postpartum overall. I have also been going to a C-section recovery center that we have here in Dallas, and they massage your incision and do different things to make sure you're healing properly. Because a lot of times, you know, the recovery with C-sections is so traumatic, and, you know, people don't like it is because, you know, it's not being treated or taken care of, because not everybody heals the same or whatever. So as far as scar tissue, as far as massaging things back in their place, I've been doing that, and it's been really good. But even before I went there, I didn't feel much besides like tightness. And of course that's normal if you get cut open and they put you back together. And just sore in that specific area. So even with the epidural, they say like sometimes you could feel numb or whatever, but I didn't feel that. I just felt sore around the incision, which, okay, you got cut there, so it kind of makes sense. But nothing abnormal. Nothing abnormal. It's tight right now, and I feel like the more that I get things massaged and moving around in that area, the blood flow in there, it's not going to be as bad. So I'm just intentionally taking care of it. 1, because we want a lot more babies, and 2, because I do want to try for a natural birth for future babies. I mean, nothing against C-sections. If push comes to shove, I want my kids to be healthy, and that'll just be it. But I'll have it, you know, options. I want to be able to have options. So yeah.
What were things CORY did that you found comforting or wish he did? And then CORY, what were things that you ensured to like do to make sure she felt comforted?
Let her know that she's doing a great job, which she was. Just being there whenever she needed something, or trying to think of what she would need ahead of time so she wouldn't have to even ask for it or have to move around for it, because she can be a little stubborn sometimes and don't want to ask and just do it on her own. And she over here about to drop a baby trying to do everything. So, but yeah, so just trying to do things for her, making sure she's good, keeping her hydrated.
Yeah, I didn't want to drink anything, eat any. Well, I couldn't eat anything, but I didn't want to drink anything because I felt like everything I drank was going to come back up. So they were like forcing liquids down my throat. But to answer your question for that, I think the biggest thing that he did that like made me so happy and just made the difference is him just knowing how I like to deal with things. And this is something that we talked about while we were dating. Basically in terms of like when I'm going through something or when I have something, like I don't like to be like, you know, like don't over pressure me. Don't, you know, I need to have my time. So don't ask me a bunch of questions about am I okay, all that kind of stuff. And I feel like even though it's labor and it's something totally different that we're talking about, he made sure that I had my time to deal with the pain and like let it pass, but also still let me know that he's right there like when I need it. And he would come in and just reassure me and then go back out like I know she likes to deal, and come back in and reassure me and then go back out like I know she likes, you know what I mean? This just constant reassurance, but also allowing me that space and time to just allow the pain to course my body, even though I know he hated it so bad.
Yeah, the little.
I could tell, I could
part.
see it in your face.
Yeah.
I think that was one of the questions, was it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we'll get to that. I'll get more in depth.
CORY, do you appreciate her more now that she's a mom?
I mean, I wouldn't say more, because like she was already great. So I feel like I've already
what you want? Another
appreciated-
baby?
Yeah.
Sucks.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say more, because I really just, I knew she was already great. Like everything she was already done, even before then. But of course, for her to give me my beautiful baby girl, I'm so much appreciative. Thank you.
Oh, do you want to cry?
Yeah, I'm about to shed a tear whenever we cut this off. But so I guess that answers the question.
It does.
It does.
Oh. Hey.
Jalisa, on the level from 1 to 10, how much pain were pre-birth contractions?
Bruh.
No, seriously.
Guys, this is the thing. I have had bad period cramps all my life. So people are like, you deal with this period, you'll be fine during labor. And I was like, okay, this is a good thing. I'll appreciate them later down the line. No, totally different thing. And I think for me, I was taking them like a G at the beginning, but as them bad boys started increasing, even to like when I was at like 4 or 5 centimeters, and then not being able to eat or drink, it was like that third day, I felt like that was the end. I felt like I was just gonna have to kiss everyone. But I think it was only because my body was progressing, but my cervix wasn't dilating. So it was like almost as if like we just kept hitting a wall. But the pain was increasing as if we were like about to, I don't know. It's weird to
Baby girl
explain.
was literally hitting the
She
wall,
was so, she was literally hitting a wall. But yeah, that pain, it was something different, but I do believe that if I had not mentally prepared myself to course the pain, it would have been worse. So, you know, everything from, you know, my doula telling me to breathe and relax, all that kind of stuff, because naturally we tense our body to brace whatever it's about to endure. So like for me, if I would have been all like, you know, freaking out and crying and screaming and hollering, all this crazy stuff going on, like it does sometimes, like in the movies and hospitals and stuff like that, I feel like the contractions would have been 1,000 times worse. But the fact that I was doing everything I could to relax and breathe and kind of just let the contraction go, it wasn't as bad as it could have been. But the more we kept going, Cooper,
Excuse us.
the more, you know, everything kept progressing, they did get worse. And by the time we got to the hospital, they were like, here, we need you to fill out this registration. I was like, epidural. Epidural, that's all I know how to say right now. I can't fill out no papers. I can't do nothing. Epidural. And then when I got there, everything was total bliss. I felt like a fairy. But yeah, that pain was something different. I would give it a, what was it, 1 to 10?
12.
A 15. But if you prepare yourself, you can do it. You can deal, all that kind of stuff. Don't let me scare you, but I just think because of my specific situation, it was a lot. Because I couldn't eat, my body was weak, all that kind of stuff.
Jefferson's.
That's nice.
What did you actually use in your hospital bag?
Guys, I truly have no idea. I keep getting asked this question, and I have not a freaking clue. By that morning, I was so like, I couldn't even tell you what day it was. I couldn't tell you anything. I was out of it. So like literally they were telling me we're about to leave, and I was grabbing up like snacks. You can't eat in the hospital. I was grabbing up a diffuser. Who's gonna have time to set up a diffuser when you're, you know, already been in labor for 3 days, all that kind of stuff. What did we pack? We grabbed our diaper bag that we had already packed weeks ago.
Baby
else
girl
did I
was
pack?
straight. That's all we know.
I packed pajamas, but I didn't even wear them. I wore the hospital gown.
Corey left everything he was supposed to pack here.
I mean,
I packed the
technically,
blanket and the pillow. They have those in the hospital.
I was ready. So I'm very low maintenance.
Where did you-
So
Yeah, he doesn't pack anything anytime we go anywhere.
I didn't have, what was it, my toothbrush, my
Toothbrush,
toothbrush and my
a change of
toothpaste.
clothes.
I mean, honestly, if we're being honest,
Somebody put a toothbrush and toothpaste for me because I didn't remember it.
I
If we're
packed
being
your
honest,
toiletries.
I had to change the clothes. I just bought like a pair of pants and another shirt, and of course my like underwear and stuff.
Down, boy.
But honestly,
Sit down.
they gave me some scrubs that were like very comfortable, and I just wore those.
Oh yeah, he loved his scrubs. He still wears them.
Yeah, so brought them home with me. But yeah, all the other stuff I didn't really need. I mean,
I don't
we brought
even
blankets,
remember.
which was what I needed.
I brought postpartum underwear. They have that there. I brought pads. They have that there. And
Brought
they
my
have the
phone
best
charger.
kind. Oh, I used your phone charger.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, I don't really know, guys. Ask somebody else. But even in like when I would Google stuff to like pack bags, it would be a list of stuff that I don't even feel like I would have used. So maybe ask someone who you know specifically has been to a hospital and ask them what they actually used while they were in the hospital. Because it could be totally different from what you see online. Because I saw like a list of like 100 items and it's like, bro, you're not using that stuff. So yeah.
How many black staff did you have in the process, even during postpartum?
Was it like 3 or 4?
We had like 3 or 4 nurses, black nurses, who were freaking incredible. They were great. They were extremely attentive. Even like the annoying stuff I was asking for, they were like, what do you need, sis? And to be fair, just the white staff that we had at a specific hospital, they were great. The whole hospital, it seems like they have really good protocol, and they take care of their people. Even my doula said this is the first hospital that she specifically didn't leave with trauma. So we're very grateful for that. But as far as black staff, we had around 3 or 4. My postpartum doula is black. And yeah, that's really all postpartum that we had.
Was it difficult giving birth during a pandemic? If so, in what ways?
I don't feel like it was difficult. The only thing that anybody would tell you, my mom was not happy that she could not be at the hospital. The lady was completely losing it. She was calling everybody. She was texting everybody. She even was like, how are they going to let T there with you? And I'm like, Mom, because she's a registered doula. Like, she's like, well, they don't know that I'm not one. And I'm like, yes, they would. But yeah, she was not having it. But other than that, it was totally fine for us. I think the pregnancy part was very different from people who were in the hospital because from what I hear, their significant others who, if you were pregnant, your significant other couldn't even come to your checkups and stuff with you. They would have to be in the car on FaceTime. So I'm really grateful that our midwife allowed, our regular appointments and allowed him to be a part of everything. And I think that that's the only part of the pandemic that we experienced, because other than that, it was just us in the hospital with my doula anyway. And it wasn't like a long-term stay. It was like we were at the deadline and then it was time. So it's not like we had to be away from our loved ones for so long. But yeah.
I guess this is for both of you since you both decided on your birth plan, but were you disappointed to have a C-section since you plan on at home birth? Happy for both of you.
Oh, thanks.
You want to go first?
Yeah. No. Like I told
Wait, hold on.
What? Was I disappointed?
Yeah, that's your answer.
No, I wasn't disappointed.
I asked, do I go first? And you said, yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say you can go first.
Oh, that's what I heard.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
Baby.
No.
Go ahead. No, you go. Sorry, I thought you said I guess you go first.
Okay, well, ladies first. Go ahead. Continue. You already started.
Oopsies. No, I wasn't disappointed. I feel like I told you guys before, I feel like I did everything in my power to, really attempt at the birth that I wanted. But with everything in life, you can't control everything. And I think I've learned that the easy and the hard way in life in general. So I don't regret anything. It happened the way it was supposed to happen. I gave God my plans. He laughed. But I'm used to that. Nothing in my life has gone the way I've planned it, word for word. But I was prepared and had a plan for what I wanted and submitted my desires to him. And now if he accepts them, that's something different. But I think that I did everything in my power, to do what I could do. And I wanted a healthy baby girl. I was given options. It's not like I was forced into anything, because even when it was time for a C-section, they were like, we can wait a little bit longer if you want. We don't have to we know you want to go for a vaginal birth, all that kind of stuff. They gave me options. We just decided as parents that we just didn't want to put her through any more strain or, anything. So if I had to take that L and get, a C-section, and only an L because it wasn't what I originally planned, because tons of women do them and decide, plan them before. But I was willing to say, that this isn't what I planned, but I want my child to be healthy and not go through distress, because she was still healthy. So for me, it was like, let's not wait for something bad to happen. Let's just get her here, and I'll deal with recovery later.
Hunter?
Yeah.
But a lot of things he said, I had no problem against it. Mainly, I wanted my wife and my baby to be healthy, which they were. And with everything going on, we didn't want to chance any of that changing. Also, as she said, they didn't pressure us to do it. They gave us time, let us actually talk about it and make sure it was something that we wanted to do. They even left the room and said we'll come back and talk about different options later. And also, my baby is here. She's healthy. She's beautiful. She's smart. All the above. I see no difference. I know a lot of women try to shame people from having vaginal births and C-sections. Personally, I don't care.
Superwoman.
The baby is here. Exactly. Everything that I've watched my wife go through, she is the best. She did it all. She went through it. All the emotions, all the feels, all the struggles of it. It's not too much of a difference, honestly. I was fine with it as long as she was fine. Even when we had the conversation of, okay, this is what we're gonna do, I knew how I felt about it. I just wanted to make sure that she was okay, like I said, because I know.
Yeah, he wouldn't even give me his opinion until I said what I wanted to do.
Yeah, I know a lot of women shame it, so I just wanted to make sure that mentally she was okay. And even going to the hospital when we had to be okay, we're not gonna do a home birth. That was obviously.
I want to add here because I was like, okay, babe, I have to go to the hospital. Let's do it. I can't.
Which is the question. So, at what point did you guys realize you had to go to the hospital?
Okay. Flowing into the next question.
Yes. So day 3, I was like, I want to go to the hospital. Blah blah blah. I kept saying it, and he kept saying are you sure, babe? Are you sure? Are you sure? But it was because he didn't want me to feel bad or feel discouraged from what we had planned. But that 4th morning, I was like, babe, I gotta go to the hospital. He was like, all right, let's go. But it was almost as if he was he wanted to do it all along, or those last few hours were just so full of agony. And I could see in his face that he was hurting that I was hurting.
So
it was hard to even look at him.
On top of that, so the first day or two, she was saying she didn't want to do it at home anymore. So that was just the pain talking of okay, I'm giving birth. This is pain.
Mind you, everyone who experienced a home birth, and my midwife told me, you're going to say this.
Exactly.
You're going to say this. So when you say this, I'm going to know that it's the pain talking, and all that means is we're progressing. So
I was ignoring it no, we're okay. Let's do it. You got this. You're doing great. But after, what was it, the 4th day?
That was 4th morning.
The morning of the 4th day, that night before, I knew no, we're going. She was in so much pain, and I couldn't take it. Just seeing her,
I can't do this anymore.
Just seeing her, I couldn't take it. Because I know she was going through it, and I could see it in her face, and I was like, okay, yes, let's go.
I was mentally checked out. Honestly, even Shay could tell you, after maybe day 2, I had no recollection of anything going on. It was I was zoned out in a different world. So people were saying stuff to me, and I couldn't even tell you who was in the house, who was around, any of it, because it was just all kind of mushing together. But that 4th day, I kept trying, but I think I know a lot of it had to do with me not being able to eat or drink anything because my body was too weak to endure what was happening to it. So I don't feel, which is why I don't have regret, because I don't feel like I wasn't strong enough. I don't feel like, but it was really, you know, my body was tapped out because I wasn't able to keep anything down. But yeah, I feel like that 4th day, I didn't even have to barely get it out my mouth. I was like, babe.
She did everything. So it's like there's nothing that we can go back and, well, I know for me thinking on it, there's nothing we can go back and say, I wish we would have did this instead of like rushing to a C-section. Like we literally did everything, did different exercises, different stretches, breathing, every single thing that you can do, trying to walk the baby down, all of that. So there was nothing that we were just, oh, I wish we did this. We literally did everything. We
over-planned. We planned the more than anybody could plan. So for us, it was like, there are no regrets because we've done, it's not like we were just like head in the clouds until labor time. You know what I mean? We did exercises nightly with each other, even just in terms of like how I wanted him to support me, how I wanted him to hold me, stuff like that. So we feel good about it.
Perfect. You got anything else?
I don't think I have anything, but if you guys, I wanted to do more like mom videos. I'm going to get back to the try-on hauls and all the stuff I was doing pre-baby because I feel like that's who I am. So I want to just make the mom stuff an additional, you know, realm of the content. So if you guys have mom suggestions or mom videos that you guys want to see, I know I'm going to do a review on the bassinets that we have. But if you guys have any other ideas, drop it down in the comments below. Any videos my husband needs to be present for, let me know. But I love you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this Q&A. I hope we answered a lot of the questions. There were a ton of questions, but a lot of them were the same. But if we need to do another one and you guys have new, different questions, we will do so. Drop them down in the comments below. Also, make sure you're following on Instagram, Pinterest, Twitter, Facebook, all that stuff. I love you guys. Peace out.